Hi, Allison. Just taking a look at this. I'm really liking this. You've done a really nice job with this. You have a polygon. You've done a lot in here. This is pretty advanced, actually. I don't know if you've used Photoshop before. Yeah, I'm just taking a look at all your layers. Definitely got enough layers. Definitely have enough clipping masks or layer masks. Yeah, I really like what you've done with this. This is really nice. Nice memorial for your dog, too. So you weren't happy with that's not the right thing. Let's see. I've got the wrong thing pulled up here. I'm not sure what happened to my Safari thing that I wanted to pull up. Okay, you weren't happy with the bottom right pictures. Okay. So maybe these two. Yeah, I mean, I guess compared to some of the other pictures, they're not terrible. I mean, it might just be because they don't have backgrounds, and these ones do. So, yeah. Let's look at your image mode. You're in RGB color, so we want to change that to CMYK color. Say don't merge. We don't want to merge. Don't rasterize. Then push OK. Now that changes your color quite a bit, so you might have to redo some of your adjustments. I don't necessarily dislike it, but it did make it a little bit darker, so you might have to maybe, bring this opacity down a little bit. You could experiment with some of these drop downs too, like I don't know if you'll like any of these, but it's worth experimenting, just going through the drop down and seeing what you can find here. Hard light's kind of nice, but I did like what you had as well, so it's kind of up to you. But these are kind of fun to play around with at times. I think normal does look pretty good, but we could bring the opacity down on that so you can still kind of see, what's going on in the background. Also, if you want to just target certain layers, like maybe this puppy image, it's a little dark, so we could go to image adjustments and go to levels. And then maybe lighten it up a little bit, bring it a little bit lighter, maybe bring it a little bit darker, just to bring out the darks in it, and then bring out the highlights with the white slider a little bit more, and then push OK. Might want to do that with that photo, maybe. It's a little dark. It's probably a little bit older photo. Kind of seems like there's something over his eye. I'm not quite sure what that is. So if we come here, image, oops, sorry, I just clicked out of Photoshop. Image size. Okay, so there's a issue here with the resolution of this, which is like really not great. We'd want this to be, check the resample box and make this 300. Now that's not going to actually make the quality of your images any better. They're still going to be kind of blurry, and I did notice that you had some pixelation in here, and I'm not going to dock off for that, but it just makes it so that it's a little bit pixelated, because when you put this together you were putting it on a canvas that was set to 72 ppi instead of 300, which is 300 is going to be a little bit more clear. So when we do the file new, we definitely, 8.5 by 11 at 300 is what we were looking for. And actually, you actually did an orientation of landscape, so 11 by 8.5, CMYK color mode, and then create. So you have that problem. I mean, technically, if I go in here and go into image size, we've fixed it because I changed that, but that didn't actually add pixels and quality to any of these images. They're still going to look a little bit blurry. So I don't think it would matter in the background too much, but if you want to try, and replace 1, 2, 3, 4 images, you could, and then, you were going to replace this one anyway, so replace that. But I do think overall your composition looks really good. Like, I don't know if there needs to be a whole lot of other changes to it. as far as like aesthetically. I mean, maybe some of the borders around your shapes could be more the same size, I guess. So the same thickness in some of these shapes. Just kind of work on that. So trying to get these borders to match up a little bit more. I don't mind this one being different because it's such a larger size that it's okay if it's a different color and a different thickness, because it's like almost like the focal point. And then this image leads your eye this way, and then you kind of work your way up. So I do think, you know, this all works really well. Let's see. With this image, I wonder if we were able to, let's see. If we were able to flip that, like flip it. No, it's not that. Command Z. I just want to get that one. Let me pause it. You could do an edit, transform on that one layer of Tiber 2, and then we could we can flip it horizontally. And I almost wonder if he was faced this way, and then we would have to tuck him underneath layer 4. Okay, so you'd have to redo the edge on that. So like, you know, grab maybe your eraser, bring down the opacity and the flow, and maybe just work on, you know, softening up this edge so that he's facing that way. It might be a little bit more successful having his face facing the other way. Oops. But something to experiment with. I mean, not necessarily going to be better, but maybe having him facing inward, so he'd be facing this way, facing that way. All of him would be kind of like facing in, possibly. Something to experiment with, but other than that, I don't really see any other issues with this file other than the resolution issue. But you can go ahead and go into your file and change that to 300. And if you want to, you can replace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images with photos that you actually took. And you might have a better result, like just not having quite so much blur. And so if you have time for that, you could do that. If not, you can turn it in as is and just replace this one photo. It might help to have a photo with a background so that it does match the others. Anyway, great job. I think it looks good. I think it's a great image, and I think you were really creative. So excellent work.